The violence is a brief, grunting thing. A chaotic clash of stone axes and wooden spears at the edge of the river. It is not a war, merely the brutal arithmetic of territory. Two clans of Homo sapiens, both following the lean herds of giant bison, meet where the water cuts through the red earth. Kayla's clan is smaller, pushed back by the sheer aggression of the strangers taller, broader men with symbols of black charcoal smeared across their chests. In the swirling dust and confusion, Lyra sees it. A hand, thick with muscle and grime, shoots out and snatches their daughter Nari from the ground where she was gathering smooth river stones. There is no cry, just a muffled gasp as the girl is hoisted onto a shoulder and spirited away into the retreating mass of the rival tribe. Kel sees Lyra as face drain of all color, a silent scream frozen on her lips, and he knows. The strangers are gone as quickly as they came, leaving behind to their own deadened a silence that is heavier than any stone. That night the clan fire feels cold. The elders speak in low, somber tones. The consensus is a hard, unyielding truth, the unforgiving calculus of prehistoric life. The girl is gone. The rival clan is larger, their tracks heading north into the jagged moor, a valley notorious as the hunting ground for the sickle claws. To send a war party would be suicide, a foolish waste of hunters the clan cannot spare. It is a wound, they say, but the clan must scar over it and survive. But for Kale and Lyra, the distinction has ceased to exist. They watch the firelight dance on the empty space in their small shelter, the small pile of river stones Nari had collected now a monument to their failure. The logic of the clan is a cage, and their love for their child is a beast that will not be contained. Before the first light touches the horizon, they are gone. They take nothing but a water skin, a handful of dried meat, and their best flint weapons. They become ghosts to their own people, a decision that is its own kind of death. This is a story that has played out across countless millennia of hominid history, the eternal conflict between the group and the individual. Their only guide is the trail of scuffed earth and broken twigs, left by a dozen people burdened with their plunder. Kale moves with a hunter's focus, his eyes scanning the ground, deciphering the story told by the earth. Lyra follows, her gaze fixed on the horizon, as if she can will her daughter back into her arms through sheer force of will. They enter the valley. The air grows still, heavy with the scent of pine and something else that Talakan told. Here, the tracks of men are joined by others, free to head, bird-like prints pressed deep into the mud. Kale touches the edge of one with his spear tip. Dianin hisses. The pack hunters, not the largest of beasts, but possessed of a terrifying, cooperative intelligence. They are now racking a tribe that is itself being stalked. The stakes have just multiplied. They press on, two shadows moving through a world that does not want them, driven by a hope so fierce it is almost a form of madness. The days bleed into one another, a blur of fear and focus. The Dianin hisses are a constant, unnerving presence. Kale and Lyra see them in the distance, sleek and feathered bodies moving with fluid lethality through the tall grass, their sickle claws glinting in the sun. The pack is shadowing the larger tribe, waiting for a moment of weakness, an easy meal. This grim reality of the prehistoric world offers Kale and Lyra a strange, thin cloak of security. The raptors are focused on a larger prize. The couple moves like whispers, their survival skills honed to a razor's edge, every sound muffled. They eat on the move, chewing tough, sun-dried meat, their senses stretched to the breaking point. They are regressing to something primal, every nerve ending screaming with the single-minded purpose of a predator tracking its quarry. On the third day they find them. The rival camp is nestled in a shallow basin, protected on one side by a sheer cliff face. There are more than 20 of them, their shelters made of hide and mammoth bone. Sentries are posted at the two main entry points, armed with long spears, products of a sophisticated osteodontocratic technology, their tips fashioned from the sharpened horns of triceratops. A plume of smoke rises from a central fire, and the scent of roasting meat fills the air. Lyra's breath catches in her throat. There near the fire is Nari. She is sitting with a group of other children, her small frame rigid, her face a mask of confusion and fear. She is alive. The sight pours fuel on the embers of their hope. turning it into a raging fire. They retreat into a dense thicket of ferns on the basin's rim, their new home, their observation post. For a full cycle of sun and moon, they do nothing but watch. They learn the rhythm of the camp. They see when the sentries change, when the hunters leave, when the women gather roots. They are students of their enemy, their focus absolute. This patient, analytical approach is a cornerstone of how ancient humans began to conquer a world that was not made for them. During their vigil, Kale notices the other actor on this stage. Each afternoon, a colossal, solitary Ankylosaurus emerges from the tree line to graze on the tough cycads that grow near the basin's edge. It is a living mountain of bone and armor, its back a mosaic of thick osteodermis, its tail ending in a massive, destructive club of solid bone. The beast is utterly impervious. The force of nature, the rival tribe, gives a wide berth. It follows the same path every day, a creature of unthinking habit. Its route taking it within 50 paces of the camp's vulnerable open side. Their eyes meet. No words are needed. The insane, desperate seed of a plan is planted. It is not a weapon they can wield, but a catastrophe they might be able to aim. They will unleash the indifference of a god of flesh and bone upon them. The plan is born of desperation and timed to the rhythm of a reptile's brain. As the sun reaches its apex, casting short, sharp shadows, the Ankylosaurus begins its daily pilgrimage. Kale and Lyra are ready. They have spent the morning preparing their only weapons, long branches smeared with sticky pine pitch and tipped with bundles of dry grass. It is a technology of fire and fear. From their perch, they watch the armored behemoth lumber into view, its immense tail club swinging with the lazy grace of a pendulum. It is a creature of pure defense, a fortress of flesh and bone. The tribe gives it no thought, its presence as predictable as the sunset. They do not realize they have built their camp in the path of a potential avalanche. Kale moves first, a shadow detaching from the ferns. He skirts the edge of the basin, his movements economical and silent, placing himself on the far side of the monster's path. Lyra remains above, her heart a frantic drum against her ribs, a burning torch held ready in her hand. Kale gives the signal, the low whistle of a hawk. Lyra touches her flame to Kale's torch. The timing must be perfect. As the Ankylosaurus passes between them, its small, unintelligent eyes fixed on a patch of ferns, they strike. They dash from cover to fleeting figures of impossible audacity. Kale thrusts his burning spear towards the creature's face, not to wound, but to blind and confuse. Lyra goes lower, jamming her torch against the softer flesh of its massive forearm. The reaction is instantaneous and biblical. A bellow of pain and rage rips through the valley. The beast, startled and tormented, does the only thing its primitive brain knows. It charges forward, away from the pain, directly into the camp. The chaos is absolute. The chaos is absolute. The ground trembles as the panicked behemoth plows through the hide shelters, its tail club scything through the air, shattering mammoth bone supports and sending bodies flying. Armed with their elegant triceratops horn spears are useless. Their weapons glance off the creature's impenetrable armor. This is the moment. Lyra sprints into the maelstrom, her focus narrowed to a single point of light in the storm, Nori. She finds her daughter cowering behind a smashed food rack, grabs her arm, and pulls her away from the pandemonium. But their escape is not clean. A warrior, his face a mask of fury, sees them. He disengages from the hopeless fight with the dinosaur and charges, his spear leveled. They are trapped. Then Kale is there. He doesn't attack the warrior. He becomes the bigger threat. He howls, a raw primal sound, and hurls his last spear not at the man, but into the thatch roof of the largest shelter, which erupts in flames. He is a ghost of vengeance, drawing the warrior's rage, leading him on a desperate chase deeper into the wrecked camp. It is the only choice. A sacrifice of proximity, Lyra understands. She meets his eyes for a fraction of a second across the chaos, a universe of love and terror passing between them. Then she turns and runs, dragging Nari with her, not looking back. To shadows, a mother and a child, melt back into the wilderness that birthed them, leaving one behind to hold the dog at bay. This is how our story truly begins, not with the taming of fire or the chipping of the first stone tool, but in these desperate, unrecorded moments. The struggle for the survival of Homo sapiens was not fought in grand battles against the great beasts of the Jurassic world, but in the shadows, by individuals armed with little more than tactical fortandle so fierce it could stare down extinction. The intelligence to turn a dinosaur into a diversion, the foresight to study an enemy's habits, the courage to execute a plan against impossible odds, these were the sparks that would ignite a revolution. This is the legacy of our human ancestors. They did not inherit the earth because they were the strongest, but because a man was willing to draw the attention of a killer to save his family, and a woman was strong enough to run, to carry the future in her arms and not look back. It poses the eternal question, what is the true engine of human evolution? Is it the hand that holds the spear, or the heart that is willing to sacrifice everything for the blood that runs beyond it? Before we built empires of stone, we built legacies of blood and bone. And in the dark, we learned that the most dangerous thing in the world was not a claw or a fang, but a parent with nothing left to lose. But some shadows know how to find their way home.